everyone. Welcome. Today I'm going to actually, right when COVID lockdown started, I started creating some travel talks. And I did one on river cruising, which is what we're going to talk about today. Just ignore the hair. You can see post-COVID hair and after COVID hair. Well, not after, but at least we can go back to the beauty salon. So I'm going to play this first for you. It's about 15 minutes. What I like about the video is you're going to actually see pictures and stuff instead of me just talking the whole time like we have been doing. But once the video is over, I will open it back up, add some things, and we will continue with some questions. I have to tell you, river cruising is one of my favorite ways to cruise. So with that, let me start the video.
Hey everyone, it's Cheryl Baker with your Passport to Travel, and today I want to do a travel talk on river cruising. I absolutely...
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Absolutely
Okay.
love river cruising. I've been on 3, 2 in Europe and 1 here in the United States, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And when I say Europe, also I want you to know that there are many other exciting locations that are...
Oh, yeah, your video we can't hear.
That's what I was wondering. You can't hear it?
It's just very quiet, yeah.
Let's see if there's any way we can.
Kind of muffled.
Yeah, it's muffled.
Huh.
And
Let's see, I don't know if I can, I think I have it up the loudest on my end, but I can talk. You can all hear me talk. I wonder if maybe I can turn off the volume and just explain the pictures, talk as we go. How about that?
Many different places that you can go on river cruises. And I'm going to tell you some of the exciting things.
Okay, so is that still too muffled? I know.
yeah, it's still a little muffled.
Okay, well, let's just talk then. Let me get out of here. I will go over to here, and we will talk about that. Okay, well, to go back to what I was saying, I absolutely love river cruising, and I love this saying here: oceans take you to countries, but rivers take you through them. And that is so, so true. When you're going on a big ocean liner and you stop at a city, you get off for the day and it's one of the big ports and everybody's scrambling from 5 or 6 different cruise ships and there's thousands of people descending at one time. When you're on a river cruise, you literally have maybe about, maybe up to about 180 people on board, depending on which cruise line you go. And you're on a small ship that is only able to go on rivers and go through the locks, which is such a cool thing to do. But you can literally stop right at the city center of the town you're going to and walk off the cruise ship right into the middle of these small villages, and there is really nothing like it. You're not sharing that with anybody else, not thousands of people. You're talking about 180 people, and these towns are magical. There are many different types of river cruises. There's the Danube, and then there's the Rhine, and then there's the, believe it or not, in Asia, you can do the Mekong. In Vietnam, you can do Portugal and into Spain, and now you can do Egypt again. So there's many, many different river cruises you can take. And let me see if I can show you a map here of some of the countries that you can go to. So just looking here now, Alma Waterways is, and again, just like there's many rivers, there's many river cruise companies. My favorite is Alma Waterways. I've been on two of their ships so far. I have gone on the Danube, and we did the Normandy right here, Paris to Normandy, which was amazing. And I'm hoping to go on their Vietnam cruise maybe in 2022 or 23. But as you can see, just from this list, there's so many different cruises you can do. Some of the ones, my parents have been on the Tulip Time, which was beautiful, full of tulips. And then my dad has been on the Christmas markets. There's nothing like seeing a Christmas market on the river. Just gorgeous. And here's where I was telling you about Portugal, the Douro River, and then of course there's France. So there's the Rhine, the Moselle, the Danube. There's just any number of things that you can do. What's really interesting about Alma Waterway and kind of why I love them. First of all, Alma Waterway is a family-owned river cruise company, and they have totally no debt. So they haven't had any issues during COVID. They pay cash for every one of their ships, and they have been around for about, actually I've met the owner of the company and his wife, and they're probably in their middle 60s, and they started it about 40 years ago. And I love the quality, the service. They've won many awards for their food. And one of the things I really love is they actually have everything is included. So when you get on there, you're not having to pay extra for the cruise. Once you get in port, then there's tours, but they're free. They're not free. They're included with your cruise. So they take you to all the places you need to see, and they divide you into 3 categories. There are the active people who want to climb to the top of the hill where the castle is. There are the regular people that want to be on a tour that's nice, but not too active. And then there's what I consider the slow group. That was me and my husband, because he was in a wheelchair the last time we went. And so this group are the ones that they take extra care with. They're slow. What I loved about it, what everybody on our cruise loved by the end of the cruise, everybody wanted to be with the slow group because we got to learn more. We took our time. We weren't in a hurry. The guide, really had time to explain and show us things. And we just, everybody by the end wanted to go with us because we were just getting more time to really experience the ports. So that is one thing that I love about Alma. Viking is also another great cruise line. I know you've seen their advertisements, their videos, their television ads, beautiful ships. And I've sent lots of people there. The only thing that you have to remember when you're looking at Viking is Viking starts at this price, but then they include a tour. But if you want to see more of that port, then you have to pay for the next tour, where Alma just, you see everything. They don't do that. So that's kind of what I love about having and using Alma. Their people are just absolutely amazing, and they've been in the business for so long. One of the things you have to remember, though, about river cruising, whether it's in Europe or one of the other countries, is that they can't control the river. So if there is no rain, there is a possibility that the river, the ships can't make it through the rivers, can't make it through the locks. And so you will always, when you're looking at river cruises, see, the little, just in case, they will actually take you out of the ship, put you on a bus, and take you to the next place where the ship can then navigate the river again. So some people get upset when that happens, but you just can't control the river. It is not, it is not something that anybody controls. So a lot of people don't realize that you have to understand. So Asia was another one. So they have Vietnam and Cambodia. They have, like I said, they've added Egypt. And then if you want to do Africa safari, they actually have a very small ship that can do the African safaris. This is another thing that many people like, is they actually have dedicated wine cruises. And as you travel down the river, every night you taste wine from a different region of that country. It's a great, and when you're on the ship, you have wine is included anyway, but these are specialty wines from those countries that you're traveling through. My last trip, the Danube that we did, was a wine cruise, and oh my goodness, I didn't know I loved wine so much. I thought I only liked sweet red, and it turns out that if it's good wine, the flavors are just amazing. So, and they have entertainment every night, no matter who you go on. They bring in entertainment from the port that you're in, and they bring them in at night after dinner, and they perform for you, whether it's dancing or singing or beautiful instruments. So that is another way you really get immersed in the culture when you're on a river cruise. I know when we were doing, it must have been the Danube, it was in Oktoberfest with the tubas and the beer and the pretzels and the dancing, and before we even got on the ship. So that was a lot of fun. And so they'll do whatever is going on. Christmas cruises are amazing. They are the Christmas markets. You stop at the ports, and they have all of the booths set up with all of the Christmas. We did that actually when we went to Paris to Normandy. They had it was Christmas time, and it was amazing. Great time to not only go on vacation, but to purchase all of your Christmas gifts. Let's see, then you have your Holland specialty cruises. Specialty cruises are when somebody like this is the host of the PBS series Places to Love. It actually is hosting this cruise, and we'll be talking about all the different things. And then for you golfers, you can actually do a river cruise with golf. So again, there's just no better way to cruise. But there are more than European river cruises. Here in America, we actually have 4 different river cruise companies. We have the American River Cruise Company, and we have a new one called Viceroy. We have another one that does the, I can see it, the something Queen out of New Orleans and goes all the way up the Mississippi River. You can do the Snake River. You can start in Oregon. You can do up around the Great Lakes. And that's becoming more and more popular because many people do not want to fly overseas right now or can't. And so they are booking American river cruises. The thing I find interesting, though, is the price of the American river cruise is usually more expensive than the price of the European river cruise. And in Europe, of course, you're gliding down and you're seeing these amazing castles and these vineyards and these towns that look like they come out of a storybook. Where in US, if something's over 50 years old, we bulldoze it down and start building something else in its place. So when you're going on an American river cruise, you're not seeing, quite the same type of things. I've been on the Mississippi River with the American Queen, which was the paddle boat, and it was great. We stopped at the plantations in Louisiana. We went to all the way up to Natchez. We stopped at little towns every day, and it was fun. The quality of entertainment is different. The quality of the food is different. The quality of the tours are different. But if you don't want to, travel to Europe for a river cruise, then I definitely recommend it. Now, the American Cruise Company, those are a little bit higher end, and I've had clients that go on them and they've loved it. But again, there's just nothing compares to a European river cruise. What also you can do when you're booking a river cruise is you can go in before and stay in you can fly into Amsterdam, where many of the cruises go out. And you can actually spend 3 or 4 days in Amsterdam before the cruise, go on the cruise, and then fly home. Another thing you can do is you can do back-to-back cruises. And when you book 2 back-to-back cruises, they actually give you a 10% discount, and you just move from one ship to the other, or you stay where you are. So that's a great way. But what is happening now, because so many people have pent up travel frustrations, Alma Waterway, and just to let you know, they have actually been cruising in Europe with European clients since COVID. They started cruising again at the end of 2020, and they cruised for a while, and then they quit, and now they will start cruising again in June of 2021. But what they have found is they announced a 46-night June departure for 144 clients only, and it filled up so fast that they have now done a spring 2022 booking. So it's sailing on 3 ships. It's a 7-river journey. It will go to 14 countries, and you'll do experiences and tours in every one of those countries. It will depart, this particular one departs April 20th, 2023 from France, and it goes to Romania. It ends on June 4th, and it is $24,999 per guest for 46 nights. So they're finding that people want to go. They, believe it or not, the cruise lines have had their best year after not being able to travel for a year, and they still aren't traveling yet, but they are booked solid for 2022 and into 2023 because people want to it's the supply and demand. Now that people are getting vaccinated, we're seeing prices go back up, way back up. Something that was $1,400 2 weeks ago is now $1,600 because supply and demand. The airlines know that people are going to start traveling and are booking, so they've raised their prices. The resorts have raised their prices. So now is the great time to put down a deposit, especially knowing that you have 2 or 3 years to pay it off. Well, 2 years into 2023, 1 to 2 years to pay it off. And because the river cruises are so just up to 180 people, it's those boats fill fast. So it's great to get your reservation in now so that you can travel when, I would say probably 2022 is what I'm telling clients when I expect us to be able to go to Europe again. Right now, you can go to the Caribbean is open, Mexico is open, Croatia is open, Thailand is open, and Iceland just opened, and parts of Africa are open. South Africa is not open, but there are lots of countries in Africa that are open. In fact, I was supposed to leave in 2 weeks to go to Morocco on a travel agent trip, and it just got canceled yesterday because now Morocco will not let flights from other countries come in. So that was canceled, but I had a trip planned for Egypt in April. It was canceled because of COVID and moved to May. So I couldn't go because I'd already booked Morocco in May. Well, now Morocco was canceled, so now I'm going to the Egypt. So I'm going to Egypt now at the end of May, and Egypt is open. That has been, which, it's a God thing because that's where I really wanted to go. That is on my bucket list and has been on my bucket list for years to go to Egypt. I had a trip booked 4 or 5 years ago. They closed down Egypt because of the wars and things going on in Egypt. So I didn't get to go. Then they just opened up Egypt right before COVID started, and then COVID. And so now Egypt is back open, and I'll be doing a land tour with a 3-day Nile cruise. So I am so excited to be doing that at the end of April. But things are starting to open up, but then things are closing. France is closed. England is closed. Italy is closed. The numbers are going up in some of those countries. Not from the first outbreaks. Now they're, of course, with the variants that are going on, there's 4 or 5 different variants now coming. So that's what's, it's affecting more young people, but, the numbers are going up for infections, but not for deaths, which is great news. And as we get more and more vaccines in the world, Europe gets more vaccinated. I think we will see more things opening, but that's what's opened right now. That's why I'm telling my clients that I wouldn't plan on going to Europe until the spring of 2022 at the earliest. But I think after the summer of 2022, it's safe to book. Anything in most of middle of 2022 all the way through 2023. So I think that pretty much, if you don't know, when you go on a river cruise, everything is covered except, and it depends on the cruise line, you will still pay gratuities for the staff. Most cruise lines, you will pay, like on Alma, I know you get of course amazing food all day long. You get the tours, you get your transportation to and from, and right now they're actually offering free airfare. A lot of the cruise lines are offering free airfare for from New York or from a major destination. They run specials all the time, but I know that one is running right now. And they also sometimes have 2 for 1, pre and post, free post, which is where you can go in and spend 3 days before or after the cruise. that is an extra cost, but that is, again, sometimes they're running specials that is included because they're trying to get their ships booked so that when it opens back up, they will be able to just hit the road running. The other thing, Alma offers wine and beer with all the meals. If you want mixed drinks, that is an extra cost. That also includes your entertainment. And some cruise lines offer the gratuities included. Some offer laundry, depending on how long you're going to be on the cruise. But generally, just like an ocean cruise, you're going to get, your food, your entertainment, your travel is included, and then depending your alcohol in your packages. So it's a great way to travel with a river cruise, because you are on a river and you're on a flat boat. There's no seasickness. There's no rocking back and forth. There's none of that you will feel when you're on an ocean cruise and the weather turns bad. So it is a perfect way, and it's great for people who have mobility issues. You will find the average age of a river cruiser is probably between 40 and 85. You don't see a lot of kids on river cruises. You may see older teenagers or family traveling together, but river cruise ships are not, they're not designed for families. You're not going to see more than 2 people in a cabin. And they do have some singles, but they're really, I would say, more for the older traveler who really wants to take time and to see the world from a different view. So that is my perspective. Like I said, have been on 2 and an American river cruise, and I can't wait to get back on the river. I think it's the best, absolutely best way to travel, and to see those places that are less crowded. And like I said before, being on the water and seeing it from a river's point of view is just amazing. Your mouth kind of hangs open as you're going through, and you're seeing these amazing castles and these amazing towns, and pulling into Budapest and seeing, all of these things that you've only seen in pictures is just an amazing experience. So do I have any questions?
I got someone asking, how do you pay for these cruises?
Well, definitely you can book them through me. We just put down a deposit, and then you tell me when you want me to put the money down. It can be a monthly thing. It can be call me and say, put 100 down, put 500 down, do this until it's paid off. Usually it has to be paid off up to, I think it's 90 days before the cruise. And because of COVID, the policies now you can literally change your mind up to 48 hours before the cruise, and still get your cruise credit and be able to rebook something else. We're finding, of course, everybody's flexible now, because we lived through, as a travel industry, we lived through something we've never seen before. And so that is probably the best thing that's come out of COVID is the travel our travel partners have really become flexible in their cancellation policies, their change policies. So I think that's probably the best. Another thing we can do is, we can put through we can make a group booking, and we can go as a group, and I will go and take you and book up 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 cabins and go as a group as overture. That is definitely something we could put together.
Well, nice. I think do you have nurses and doctors aboard the cruise?
You also will always have a doctor or a medical professional aboard, and literally you are never more than, because you're on a river, there's always somewhere there they can pull over and do something.
Okay.
And then most insurances that we sell for medical, if you needed to be flown home or medical, that's included in your travel insurance.
Any other questions? All right. I think you answered all their questions during the presentation. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.